Hello, buddy. Welcome back to Tinmans Quarter Channel. I'm your host, Jeffrey Tinman Taylor, and today I thought I'd get on here and tell you guys another story of mine, past. And as you can tell by the title, it's not so pretty. So this basically happened to me twice, along with my folks. The first time was back in 8th grade. I remember it was in December. Me and my parents were planning on going to our favorite vacation spot, which you guys probably seen in my other videos, the Smoky Mountains of Tennessee. Well, for some odd reason that day I was supposed to go to school and then, they could check me out early so we can go. Well, I got sick for some odd reason. I don't know what happened. I must have had like a little nervous bug or got a flu from somebody, but I ended up going to the bathroom and puking. And Mama said, there ain't no way you're going to school like that. And I said, you got that right, I ain't going. And I remember I stayed here all day, sort of a messed up stomach, but I was fine afterwards when my parents came home after work. And I said I felt fine to travel, so we got into the car, took off. Now, along the way, I had a little trash can with me between my legs, and I was just like trying to rest my eyes while we're traveling. Because when you go on the mountain curves, you feel like you just want to go, ugh. But then, once we got to the hotel, I felt fine. But then, here's the kicker. Me and my folks went to this restaurant over in Gatlinburg, which I'm not going to name the name of the place because I don't want to give them any bad reputation. But my parents tried out the buffalo burgers that they were offering. I didn't get it. I got like a pizza, like a small pizza for myself. And I felt fine eating that. And then my parents felt fine eating their burgers. But once we got back to the hotel room the next day, they started getting sick. So I couldn't enjoy the rest of the mountain trip that day because Mom and Dad kept going to the bathroom vomiting. So sometimes I had to go on the balcony just to get some fresh air and away from them making a lot of sick noises. But then the next day they felt fine. So we've narrowed it down to where they either got a little bit of something that I had mixed with the buffalo burgers and it overreacted in their stomachs. So throughout the rest of that trip we were fine, and then we got back home and I went back to school since they got me out of school for the whole trip before Christmas break. Now, let's jump forward to 2025. You know how they say history has a way of repeating itself? Well, it happened again. But this time I wasn't sick before we left. I got sick during the trip. I remember it was probably Friday night. Me and my folks went to eat at a restaurant in Pigeon Forge. And again, I'm not mentioning who it was because we ate there before and we didn't have no problems with it. So apparently the food we ate probably won't cooked off right, or somebody had germs in their hands or something. I don't know what happened. Ate the food, walked around the island area, and then we came back to the hotel. So right around, I would say 4 o'clock in the morning, I had to get up and go to the bathroom. And not only did I have the runs out of my rear, I had to grab the trash can and I was like, oh my God, why does this happen to me now? And I was the only one doing it until next morning, Saturday. My dad got sick. Mom was the only one not sick. And he was vomiting worse than I was. She had to keep going out to the cleaning lady just to get more trash bags. But then I was starting to ease off a little bit and felt like I could lay down and eat like creamed potatoes and sandwich because I didn't feel like eating nothing heavy. So we stayed in that hotel room entirely that day. And then we left Sunday morning. I felt bad too because I told Mom I felt good enough to go through Kate's Cove, but she didn't want to leave Dad at the hotel, and I didn't blame her. But once we got back on the road going home, it felt a little bit better. But I tell you what, I hope to God that if we went back, nothing like that, knock on wood, doesn't happen again. But anyway, I thought I'd get on here and tell you guys that story. I know it won't exciting. It was terrible. But I tell you, once that bug hits you, you have to go. Don't forget to like, subscribe, turn on post notifications. This has been another successful installment of the Tinmans Quarter Channel. I'm your host, Jeffrey Tinman Taylor, and I said that's a wrap. And have a nice day, everybody.